I got the Ice Barrel 500 with the new chiller right here, and in this video we're gonna see if it's worth the wait. Let's get into it. Setup was super easy. This tub without water weighs about 85 pounds, so it's really easy to move around. One person can move it around. Obviously, if you have two, that makes it a lot easier, but you just put it in its desired place. Then you can unpack the chiller, break out the hoses, and you just start connecting all the pieces. It takes around 20 to 30 minutes to get everything set up, put the water in, and get that thing running. The hoses and the fittings are super intuitive and straightforward, and once you get them connected, the chiller is going to start running automatically. One of the main things that I love about the Ice Barrel 500 is that it's more of an active sitting posture. It has these steps in the back where you can walk up, you can get in, and there's a little bench on the inside where you can sit and comfortably get all nice and cozy in your cold plunge. This style of cold plunge is perfect for a smaller person like me. Shout out to all the short kings out there. It is actually my preference over the lay down sort of cold plunges because I tend to slide around a lot and I don't want to do that. I just want to get in, I want to lock into my zone, and I want to just focus on my breathing and not be distracted by trying to get into the right position. And that's why I really like this design. So when I get into the cold plunge, I want to have a view that I look at. I want to look into the best view that I can. The way that this is set up, it's kind of awkward because the chiller has to be set up on the front. So like if I were to turn this around to make it as easy to get into as possible, then I'd just be facing a wall. So now I have to kind of shimmy around this couch here and come around the back and then get in. I don't know if there's a solution to that because the hoses got to plug in somewhere, but I think that's a little bit of a design flaw. And for the dimensions, it's 42 inches tall and 31 inches wide. So this cold plunge has a pretty compact footprint and it's good for indoor or outdoor. This tub is made from UV resistant recycled plastic that is made to withstand the elements. And we'll get into this later, but it does have a lifetime warranty on the tub. So basically this thing is going to last forever. And if anything breaks, then they'll replace it unless you do something really stupid with it. And as far as the chiller goes, this thing is built out of stainless steel and it has waterproof components both on the outside and on the inside, which is crazy. I don't even know how they did that. But this thing is an absolute tank. And when you touch it, when you mess with the buttons, it's just like the feeling of it is so satisfying. It feels really, really high quality. I feel like this is like Apple level product design in terms of the user experience. So this chiller is an absolute beast, and I also wouldn't leave it out in the snow. So if it's going below freezing wherever you live, then I might take the chiller, put it inside, as you just don't want to expose it to the elements when you have water that's not running that quickly. It's not moving. It might freeze over just like your hose or just like the pipes in your house. And if it's that cold outside, then the water's going to be cold enough. You don't even need the chiller. As far as the experience goes, this is by far, I think, the best experience of a cold plunge for me personally. And I've tried a lot of cold plunges. I even made another video. We tried every cold plunge at every price point, so you don't have to, which you can go watch right here down in the description after this video. If we take in all the different factors like price, build quality, experience, warranty, all this stuff, I think the Ice Barrel 500 with the chiller is the best combo. And I had the opportunity to spend some time with the founder, Wyatt, and this guy is an artist. He really, really cares about every single detail, and it really shows. And there are certain things that we're going to talk about. They're not my favorite, but I know that they're making changes and new stuff is coming. And so he's always taking the customer feedback into consideration, and he's always making adjustments. So as far as comfort goes, this is probably the most comfortable cold plunge other than the inflatables that I've been in. The reason why it's so comfortable is because it's easy to get in and out, and then there's this step inside where you can just sit, and whether you want to lean back or you want to lean forward, or sometimes I just turn to the side and get off the step and I just submerge. For me, it's a really easy and nice process. It doesn't detract, it doesn't take me out of my experience of doing the cold water immersion. So with this cold plunge chiller combo, the water will get down to 37 degrees, but one of the most impressive parts about this unit or this setup is how quickly the water changes temperature. So you can change it from your app or you can change it on the dial right here, and the water will change temperature extremely fast. Whether you want it to go lower or whether you want it to go higher, it will get there very quickly. And although it's a smaller design, I feel that the compact nature of this cold plunge makes it feel more immersive, and it's really easy to just get in that zone. And even my friend David Moss, who's 6'2", he fits really well inside of this cold plunge. However, for him, it's a bit harder to dunk, and I think that has a lot to do with the seat that's inside there. So if you're a super large person, if you're really, really big, then this may not be the best cold plunge for you. So I'm not gonna lie, I just hit an absolute wall while trying to film this video. So I'm actually just gonna get in this thing and walk you through what the experience is like so you can get a feel for it. So this is what I mean by it's kind of a weird setup with this sticking out this way and the stairs being in the back. So it's like I kind of gotta, come around and then I gotta come up this way. But once I'm here, it's great because then I have this nice view. So Steps are super convenient. So that's the seat right there that my foot goes on. And now I'm standing on the chair that's inside. I'm gonna lower myself down. And then I'm gonna sit right on the chair. It's perfect. So whether I wanna lean back, I can do that. Or if I wanna come forward, I can do that. And getting out is super easy. Step on the seat, then back on the stairs or steps. And then boom, you're done. Easy mode. Okay, so let's talk about the most important aspect of this review, which is the chiller, obviously. So let's do a quick sound check, see how loud this thing is. So right next to the chiller, it's about 68 decibels, which is pretty quiet. Oh, it just turned off. When it's actively not cooling down, then it doesn't need to use as much energy, it doesn't need to run, so to speak. So therefore, the chiller turns off once it hits the desired temperature, which is pretty cool. It's not silent when it's running, but it's not the loudest. There's much louder chillers on the market. So one of the coolest aspects of this chiller is the screen. It's so nice looking, and this button has a really good feedback. Like, it's very satisfying. So right here, this is Smart Sense. So this is where I want it to live most of the time. And all I have to do is say, yes, that's the temperature I want it to be, Smart Sense. And then if I click and hold this button down, then it's gonna open up the whole menu. So I can set the Smart Sense. I can just independently set the temperature right here. I can set a schedule, but this will happen in the app, which I'll show you guys in just a second. And then any notifications that I might need to be made aware of will happen right here. There's nothing at this moment. And then I can change the settings, whether I need to connect it to Wi-Fi or change the date, switch it from indoor versus outdoor chiller so that it knows how to work most efficiently, which ice barrel I'm set up to. So whether it's a 300, the 400, or the 500. And then temperature, I can switch from Celsius to Fahrenheit. And then this is just the chiller information. So it's pretty straightforward. And let's go ahead and jump into the app. Okay, I'm gonna pull up the app right here so that you can see it. And what you'll notice when you first open up the app, there's like an introduction, and then it prompts you to start tracking. You're gonna see your weekly statistics, total time, average temperature, right now what the current temperature is using the Smart Sense. And over time, you're gonna earn different badges and awards and stuff like that as you go through these different programs that they have laid out. And it's great because for me, I didn't start getting really serious about meditation until I started tracking. I think the same idea translates to building a practice with cold water immersion. And when you start to see the statistics add up, it's way more motivating to keep doing it. And especially if you're doing it like going for streaks, you don't want to break the streak. At least for me, that was always really motivating as I was building the habit. This is cool. And then if you go over to the coaching tab, you have all these guided sessions you can do. So they have some suggested, then they have reset, recovery, resilience. And I think this is cool because sometimes I feel like no matter what the practice is, whether it's getting in the cold water or doing meditation or anything, sometimes it can feel a bit dull if you don't have any variety. And this, I feel like, brings some of that into that, especially if you're new to this. You may not have the right context for how to get the most out of this practice. And then if you go over to track, this is where you're gonna log your sessions, and you can just hit start. It also captures the temperature that it's at currently. And then right here, you can remotely control the chiller basically from anywhere as long as you're on Wi-Fi, which is pretty cool. So whether you want to check to make sure that it's at the right temperature or you want to change the temperature, you can do it right here from the comfort of wherever you might be. And then this feature, I love this feature. This is the community feature, so you can see everyone who is logging sessions in their ice barrel with the chiller just in real time from anywhere in the world. And you can even follow people. So we got our friend David Moss Jr. here logging some sessions in his ice barrel, which is cool. And there's also a search function. I can look up, users in your area. And there's a bunch of people here. One of the problems with all these products and wellness culture is it's all like siloed and you're all by yourself and you're doing your practice, but it's like this stuff was meant to be shared and we're meant to do these things together. So I think we're gonna see a lot of innovation coming from the app. And I also see community building as being a core pillar of something that's gonna be coming in the future. So that's the whole app in a nutshell. And I think this is a big step for the entire industry. For the maintenance and the warranty, warranty, you're gonna want to buy the stabilizer kit, and you put that in the water every couple of weeks. Depending on how many people are using it and how gross you are when you get in it is gonna determine how often you need to clean it. Every couple months, you might wanna empty out the water and fill it back up, especially if you're doing contrast therapy where you're not showering in between and you've got a bunch of people doing it, then you might wanna change it out a little bit more. Luckily though, the app will tell you and the chiller will tell you when you need to change the filters, and it will notify you so you know when to do that. And likely you're probably gonna have to do it every 3 to 4 weeks, maybe a little bit longer if you take really good care of the water. Because this chiller has a pre-filter, a 50 micron filter, and an air filter all in it. And because of the water stabilizer kit, you actually don't need any ozone or UV, so those aren't part of this unit. Like I mentioned before, you're gonna get a lifetime warranty on the tub and you're gonna get a 1-year warranty on the chiller. You also have the option to buy an extended warranty for the chiller if you want. And they have a 30-day money-back guarantee. So the price of the ice barrel with the chiller is about $5,100 in total. And I do have a discount code if you want to save some money. Just click the link down below, apply that discount code, and you'll get some money off. And they're also always running sales, so just be on the lookout for those sales as well. My thoughts on the price with this product, I think it's a fair price. As far as everything else that's on the market, I feel like this is a really good happy medium. It's not super crazy expensive like some of these really high-end ones, but it does everything you need it to do. And you know, the company's got to make some money too. So I think for what you're paying for, you get a good deal. So let's talk about who this is for and who this is not for. I think this is for the person who is absolutely committed to their cold water therapy practice, or someone who really is now planning on being super committed. This is not your entry-level product, but if you want a top-tier experience without paying 5 figures, then I think this is probably the best option. This is also for you if you prefer that upright posture and you might be a little bit on the smaller side of things. Who this is not for, this is not for the super huge like football player, or if you're really tall. Like, I just don't know if this is the best option for you because you just might not be as comfortable as someone who's a little bit smaller. And so for that reason, I think you might be better off looking at this other video where I talked about all the different cold plunges and find one that might be better suited for your size. This is also not the cold plunge for you if you want to fit multiple people in the cold plunge at once. Again, because of the smaller footprint, you're not going to be able to fit more than one person in this. This is also not the cold plunge for you if you're on a super tight budget or you just prefer to like DIY it and build your own, and that is something you enjoy. This is for the person who doesn't want to go through any of that hassle. So in conclusion, this is one of the best cold plunges I've ever used, if not the best in terms of price, value, and all the different cool features that you get with the chiller. And I'm really happy with this product. And I met Wyatt, the founder, and I loved him. I loved his vision. And I think that if you buy this, you'll be happy as well. So again, if you want to get one, the link's down in the description. Just make sure to use code WellnessDaddy. You save some money. And if you like this video, I know you're going to like this video right here. So just go watch that video and I'll see you in the next one. Take care and be well.